position about not supporting women in the military.
Some of our greatest warriors, our best warriors out there are women.
And Ernst says this is based on a pledge he made to her in that second meeting. It's all a little vague, but essentially this is why she claims she's softening her position on him, that he's made concessions on issues that matter to her. And to be clear, she's still not coming right out and saying he absolutely has her vote, but she certainly seems to have reversed course and put herself in a situation where, at this point, it's very hard to imagine her backing out. She would, if she did that, be a pariah with the MAGA base. They would make sure of that.
Mm-hmm. So this ends up becoming a pretty extraordinary demonstration of the president-elect's power.
Absolutely. And when I talk to people close to President-elect Trump and people who work for him, people on the outside, allies, they already see this as a resounding success. You know, they will say, look, who knows, maybe more accusations will come out against Pete Hegseth. Maybe we end up losing 4 senators and he goes down. But even if that happens, they see this as a cautionary tale for Republicans. They are putting Republicans on notice that they're not going to tolerate dissent. They're not going to tolerate opposition to Donald Trump during his return to Washington. And by making such a fight of this, by publicly forcing these senators to bend the knee, they are creating a template for what we're likely to see next year as Trump tries to pass legislation, as he inevitably does controversial things that will make some senators squeamish. The Trump team is sending out the message now, there will be a very steep cost if you go against Donald Trump.
Well, Jonathan, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
On Sunday, Senator Lindsey Graham, a close Trump ally, said that Hegseth has agreed to release the woman who accused him of sexual assault from a confidential legal settlement. That would allow his accuser to come forward publicly with her allegations and let senators evaluate whether or not they are true.
The Daily is supported by Total Wine & More, helping shoppers find gifts for everyone on their holiday list, including a single-barrel bourbon for Dad. Curbside pickup and delivery offered in most areas. TotalWine.com. Drink responsibly. Be 21.
Innovative, immersive, and skillfully investigated. The Daily brings listeners today's stories as only the New York Times can report them. For more on today's episode, go to nytimes.com/The Daily.
The Daily is powered by the journalism of the New York Times and is distributed by APM, American Public Media. You can go deeper into the stories you hear on The Daily at nytimes.com/The Daily. That's it for The Daily. I'm Michael Lombardo. See you tomorrow.
From the online trends that dominated 2024...
On the spectrum of brat to demure, where are you right now?
...to spicy TikTok viral reads...
These romance fantasy books about dragons...
...and celebrity grievances...
This is just competitive rap stuff.
NPR kept you up to speed on pop culture all year long. Give back to the news source that just hits different by making a donation today. Thanks.
Go to radioiq.org and click the donate button.
Radio IQ is broadcasting in digital on WVTF.
The 7 p.m. session of Roanoke City Council for December 16, 2024 is hereby called to order, and I will ask our clerk, Ms. Susan McCoy, to please call the roll.
Vice Mayor Cobb.
Here.
Ms. White Boyd.
Here.
Mr. Vollison.
Here.
Ms. Moon Reynolds.
Here.
Ms. Sanchez Jones. Mr. Fitzpatrick.
Here.
And Mayor Lee.
Here, and a quorum is present. Tonight, the invocation will be delivered by the Reverend Banny Hall, and who's the lead pastor of Church Alive International. And following Pastor Harold, I'll lead you in the Pledge of Allegiance. If you would stand, please.
Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight in the name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and we thank you that we're able to pray. And tonight, Lord, we're reminded of your word in the book of Acts, chapter 17, that from one blood you have made all nations and all people. And Lord, you have predetermined our times and the boundaries where we would live. So tonight, I'm thankful that you determined we would all be here in 2024. And you determined we would all be here in a community called Roanoke, Virginia. Lord, we love our city. We love you, and we invite you to bless our city. Tonight, Lord, we pray the words from the prayer that you gave your disciples, the model prayer, that we want your kingdom to come, your will to be done on earth as it is in heaven. So tonight I pray in Roanoke as it is in heaven. For we know that yours is the kingdom, yours is the power, and yours is the glory forever. So we invoke your blessing tonight, and we ask that the breath of the Holy Spirit will breathe not just on this council, not just on this meeting, but on our city. Bring the wisdom of God, the understanding, the counsel, the might, and the fear of the Lord by the Holy Spirit. And again, we thank you, Lord, that we're gathered here, and we bless your holy name. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening again, everybody. Good evening. As part of this evening's agenda items, it is also fitting for us to honor our 2024 Citizen of the Year. It is always a difficult decision for the members of the council to select that one special person, that citizen, because so many go above and beyond the call of duty to serve our city and its fellow citizens. Our 2024 honoree is very community-oriented. The honoree practiced law for many years, served on many boards of directors, such as Explore Park, Virginia Historical Society, and the Inner City Athletics Association, just to name a few. The honoree demonstrates a commitment to this city and its economic growth through an active engagement in philanthropy, educating and empowering others to nurture and protect natural access. On behalf of Vice Mayor Cobb and members of Roanoke City Council, I am pleased to announce that Roanoke's 2024 Citizen of the Year is W. Haywood Fralin. Y'all come on around. We're delighted to have you here. Plenty of room. You take precedence in here. Come on in. All right. Mr. Fralin has been giving back to the community for many years through involvement with numerous boards, such as the Roanoke Valley Chamber of Commerce, the Western Virginia Foundation for Arts and Sciences, the Jefferson Center, HELP Incorporated, Roanoke, and Youth Haven, Roanoke. He's also devoted time and effort with his personal finances to serve the Roanoke Valley, and his passion is to support and advocate for the advancement of the Fralin Biomedical Research Institute at Virginia Tech. And he established an endowment fund supporting educational programs and wildlife preservation at Roanoke's Mill Mountain Zoo. As of this evening, Mr. Fralin's name will join the ranks of some other outstanding and distinguished Roanokers who have been honored as Citizen of the Year, such as Dr. Cheryl Hartman, Estelle McCadden, and Dr. Rupert Cutler. And let me just say, Mr. Fralin, I'm honored to unveil our Citizen of the Year plaque, which will display your photograph as Roanoke's 2024 Citizen of the Year. This plaque will be on display in the lobby area on the second floor of the Knowles C. Taylor Municipal Building. Also, I'd like to present you with your own personal plaque. And where is it? Okay. Oh, okay. This is the personal plaque. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. You want to go? Appreciate you a lot. And we have a formal resolution which pays tribute to you as the 2024 Citizen of the Year. This resolution, Madam Clerk, do you got your glasses?
I have.
Can you read that a little quick better than I can?
I will, thank you.
Thank you.
A resolution honoring W. Haywood Fralin as the City of Roanoke's 2024 Citizen of the Year for his lifelong dedication to education, health care, community service, and the arts, as well as his extraordinary contributions to the betterment of our community. Whereas W. Haywood Fralin is a lifelong resident of Roanoke, Virginia, having attended Jefferson High School, graduating class of 1958, before earning degrees from the University of Virginia and the Washington College of Law at American University. Whereas Mr. Fralin has demonstrated exemplary leadership and higher education through his service on the Board of Visitors for the University of Virginia, including 2 years as rector, as well as his tenure as chair of the Virginia Business Higher Education Council for over 15 years, chair of the Virginia State Council of Higher Education, and a member of the Board of Visitors for Virginia Tech. Whereas Mr. Fralin's civic contributions include his past service on the boards of directors of numerous esteemed organizations, including Carilion Roanoke Memorial and Roanoke Valley Community Hospitals, the Virginia Tech Carilion Biomedical Research Institute, the Virginia Historical Society, and Roanoke Valley Business Council, among others. Whereas Mr. Fralin has been a steadfast supporter of the Roanoke community through his involvement with organizations such as the Jefferson Center, Youth Haven, and the Roanoke Valley Chamber of Commerce, in addition to his dedicated service to St. John's Episcopal Church as a member, vestry, and treasurer. Whereas Mr. Fralin continues to serve the community through his current roles as a vice chair of the board of the Taubman Museum of Art, a board member of the Virginia Western Community College Foundation, and as a representative of the University of Virginia Athletic Foundation Board of Visitors. Whereas Mr. Fralin has played a pivotal role in advancing medical research and innovation as an advocate for the Fralin Biomedical Research Institute at Virginia Tech. Whereas Mr. Fralin committed to the growth and vitality of the Commonwealth of Virginia is exemplified by his service on the Virginia Growth and Opportunity Foundation Board. And whereas Mr. Fralin's lifelong dedication to education, health care, community service, and the arts has made an indelible impact on the city of Roanoke and beyond. Therefore, be it resolved by the Council of the City of Roanoke as follows. 1, council recognizes, commends, and honors W. Haywood Fralin as the 2024 Citizen of Roanoke Citizen of the Year for his extraordinary contributions to the betterment of our community and his unwavering commitment to service and excellence. 2, the city clerk is directed to forward an attested copy of this resolution to W. Haywood Fralin as an expression of the city's gratitude and admiration for his exceptional leadership and service.
Thank you. And we have a formal resolution which pays tribute to you as the 2024 Citizen of the Year, and I'll ask for a motion from council. All right, Madam Clerk, you read the resolution in its entirety, and therefore we'll call on you to call a roll.
All right. Vice Mayor Cobb.
Aye.
Ms. White Boyd.
Aye.
Mr. Volleson.
Aye.
Ms. Moon Reynolds.
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez Jones.
Aye.
Mr. Fitzpatrick.
Aye.
And Mayor Lee.
Aye. Thank you, and it's all legal now. And finally, on behalf of the city of Roanoke, it is my pleasure to present you with the highest honor that we have to confer, which is the key to the city. I want everybody to see this.
Nice.
I don't know how many doors will open. Thank you. congratulate you and express really our heartfelt appreciation for all that you do to make our city a better place to live, work, play, and to raise a family. Thank you so much again. Thank you. And now I'm going to call on Mr. Fralin to say any remarks, anything that you have to say, and then I'll ask our council colleagues to share with you their closing comments. So let me invite you to the podium.
Thank you. Well, first of all, thank all of you for this incredible honor. I'm not sure that any one individual deserves such an honor, but I'm very appreciative. I'm very proud of this region, of the city of Roanoke and the surrounding area. It has been a major part of my life for a long time. It is a great place to raise a family. And I think right now we're just at the tip of the iceberg. It is only going to become greater and greater. With Mike's operation at the Research Institute, the employment opportunities, the income opportunities, the advantages that come with that for all citizens of this region is only going to grow and grow. And for that, I'm very thankful. It's been many years since we've had this kind of opportunity, and I appreciate all of you recognizing that, and the city of Roanoke will be forever better for what's happening today, and I thank all of you. Thank you.
I'll give my colleagues an opportunity to share their comments, but let me share something with the audience, that one day Mr. Fralin came up to the office, to my office back there, and he shared with me, he said, Sherman, we got a great opportunity here to make Roanoke and Carilion the research capital of the East Coast. You know, we got Duke down on one end on the southern part and John Hopkins up north. And he said, but I got that vision and I can feel it. I can feel it happening. And I said, yes, sir, I can feel it too. I feel it. I paused a little bit, but I feel it. You know, have it in church, like a church meeting. He convinced me, but he's a great man, special man, and we had a good conversation, and I've had conversations throughout, so I really appreciate that. But with that being said, I'm going to ask my colleagues to share any comments they may have, and I'll start on my left with Ms. Sanchez-Jones.
Mr. Fralin, there's a long list to be thankful for to you, but I just want to say thank you. Without you, we wouldn't be our 8-star All-American city. So I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all your contributions that you have done to this great city. Thank you, sir.
Haywood, there are no really good words to describe your commitment, your love, and your caring, not just for the city of Roanoke, but for this valley and throughout Southwest Virginia. You have been a pivotal player in everything that's happened during my life, and it's been a wonderful opportunity to know you, to watch you have all those governors in your house before Christmas every year until they change the law and they can't come anymore. Because the kind of opportunity to sell Roanoke to the kinds of people that you know and have worked with has made a huge difference. But thank you not just to you, but to the entire Fralin family, because you all have committed yourselves to Roanoke in a way that few families ever have done or could do. And we'll always remember that. And thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Fralin, congratulations. Were you surprised?
Somewhat, yes.
I'm glad. Because it is nice in our life to have as many wonderful surprises as we can. And through your work, you've created innumerable wonderful surprises for so many people. And so I'm really glad that we could surprise you tonight with our gratitude for all that you do for our city. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Fralin, I just want to, by the time it gets to me and Ms. Moon Reynolds, it's been said, but certainly I would be remiss if I didn't say thank you for your contributions to the city of Roanoke and the surrounding areas. The resolution speaks for itself. You have made so many contributions, and you're so humble, and we just want you to know that we are grateful to have you and your family, and we appreciate you, and we are honored to add your name to the list of our citizens who've been recognized, and quite an honor to get a key to the city. You can open all these doors if you want.
That's not true, baby.
What about surprises?
I would say give it a try. Mr. Fralin, thank you so much for everything you've done for our community. You know, as somebody who's born and raised in Roanoke, I've seen the city change over my lifetime, and a lot of those changes are because of the ideas and policies and things that you brought forward to help make sure that Roanoke continues to grow and continues to be a shining star on top of a mountain for a lot of folks. So I want to thank you again for everything that you and your family have done for the city, and we're very excited to bestow this honor upon you. Thank you.
Well, it leaves it to me to bring up the rear. And I just want to say to you, sir, that I appreciate your servant's heart, that you have a public servant's heart, that you give benevolent and charitable, but do not seek anything in return. You are not seeking accolades. You do it because it's in your heart to give, and you have the will to give. And that, I think, the people in the community could really appreciate. And I thank my deacon, the chair of our deacon board, who nominated you. Joe Gaither nominated you and spoke about all the things you've done in the community that goes unsaid, such as uniforms for the underprivileged. Things like that people don't hear about, that you do and you don't speak about. But we know you're doing those things, and I've been appreciative of knowing of you since I started in the city clerk's office under Mayor Taylor. And my husband, who's here also, who when I told him about you being recognized, wanted to be here because he had the privilege of working with you as well back in the 80s before leaving to go down to Martinsville. So thank you, sir, for all you've done for this community.
Well, thank you, and it was a real pleasure working with both over the years with both Earl and Joe.
Yes. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you all. And thank you for coming out, and if you all want to say something now, the mic's open.
That's what Mike said.
What I would ask, sir, is which generation is he?
That is a grandson.
Okay, okay, so he's
That is Grove, short for Grover.
Okay, Grove, all right. Nice to see you.
Well, what we want to do is, if you all can, we want to come around and take a picture right in front of the council.
We may have them in 4 rows, Mayor.
They're deep.
We made
all of them. Come on.
Yes, all
Everybody.
everybody.
It's like Owen Mills.
You can see that height still goes, I tell you.
Should I be in the front?
Thank you.
What a great honor for us. My pleasure. Real privilege.
I'm gonna work my way around the tall gentleman.
Here come the tall ones. Here comes the tall ones.
You might have to get on this side.
I'll see. That's why we need something.
Find me a spot. I don't even know if there's a spot in there. Thank you.
Let's go that way.
Pleasure.
I may have to go down to the front.
I love them.
I may have to go down. I don't think it's...
I don't know about that. That's right. You
Huh? Okay, all right.
Come on, let's go this way. It's more about them than it is about us.
Do you want us all down there? That's right.
No.
We're probably better up
No, we'll step here.
We're good.
Coach is getting coached.
Thanks.
Great. See you back. Take care. Take care of your knees.
Good job.
Thank you all for coming. Thank you. You too, sir. What did you do to yourself? Oh, did he? That's your heart. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you again.
Thank you. Swimming. Oh, oh. Don't leave your key in case you want to get back in.
Yeah, where's my key? Oh, it's under here.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna have a very brief recess here. All right, as most of you know, that this is our last formal city council session for this year, and my last city council session where I'm the chairman, period. So I have some resolutions honoring our outgoing city council members. And so I want to ask Councilman Bev Fitzpatrick to come down and join me here at the podium. All my help is gone.
That's the next one over there.
Thank you. I want to thank Councilman Fitzpatrick, who joined us in midstream. We gave him a call, and he said he'd be honored to join us. And let me just say that we're very pleased that he's here, that he's worked with us, did an outstanding job. And Bev is somebody that brings a tremendous amount of experience to us. And we're just really honored that he decided to return to council and give up his time to come and help us resolve some issues. And he has a way about himself, and I think Bev can take any situation and make you smile about it. I don't care how tough it gets or how bad it is. So I really enjoyed him being here. He's helped this city out for years and years. He has a great love for the city of Roanoke. And with that, I want to present to you a plaque which reads, presented to the Honorable Beverly T. Fitzpatrick, Jr. for dedicated and outstanding service to the citizens of the city of Roanoke, Mayor Sherman P. Lee, Sr., and members of the Roanoke City Council, December 16th, 2024. Bev, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for the opportunity. I would just like to tell you all it's been a real honor to have the mayor call and ask me to serve for this 6-month period. I have come to know you all so much better than I did. One of you in particular, I won't mention who it is. But consequently, what a wonderful opportunity for me to have Roanoke as part of my life at 78 years old, just for 6 months. It's been wonderful. We've gotten some things done. I think we've worked well as a team of people who care about Roanoke, and that's what this is really all about. So thank you to each one of you for the honor of serving with you. And now I'll go back home and work on models because I'm way behind.
Thank you, Mayor. All right, I want to ask Council Member Stephanie Moon Reynolds to come up. As many of you know, Stephanie served the city for many years as the city clerk. And I want to thank her for her diligence, determination, and commitment to the city of Roanoke. She's been very supportive of the things that we've done, and when she wasn't, she'd tell you she wasn't supportive of it. But she's done a tremendous job, and I want to thank her for her commitment, and I want to present her with this key to the city, well, a key to the city, and it reads, presented to the Honorable Stephanie Moon Reynolds in recognition of outstanding leadership and service rendered to the citizens of the city of Roanoke. As a member of Roanoke City Council, January 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2024, by Mayor Sherman P. Lee and members of Roanoke City Council, presented on this date of December 16th, 2024. Stephanie, let me present this to you. And we got the wrong glasses on. I don't have the bigger print, but let me read this resolution that we may have for you. A resolution paying tribute to the Honorable Stephanie Moon Reynolds and expressing to her the appreciation of the city and its people for her exemplary public service. Whereas Ms. Moon Reynolds is a native of Roanoke, Virginia, and earned an associate degree, applied science, legal assisting, from Virginia Western Community College, Roanoke, Virginia. Whereas during her career, Ms. Moon Reynolds has served in every position in the clerk's office and retired as city clerk in 2019. Whereas in 2021, Ms. Moon Reynolds was elected to serve on Roanoke City Council. Whereas as a member of Roanoke City Council, Ms. Moon Reynolds has served on boards and committees, including Roanoke City Council Personnel Committee, Roanoke City Council Legislative Committee, as a liaison for the Roanoke Redevelopment and Housing Authority, as an elected official, representative for the Virginia Municipal League's Community and Economic Development Policy Committee. As an elected official representative for the Roanoke Valley Allegheny Regional Commission, and as an at-large member of the Board of Directors of the Virginia Municipal League. Whereas her civic activities in the community include board member, Project Discovery Program, Total Action for Progress, member of the Kiwanis Club of Roanoke, member of the Roanoke Valley Sister Cities, and member of the Roanoke chapter of the National Association of Parliamentarians, and whereas it is appropriate and right that this City Council express its appreciation for the service provided by Ms. Moon Reynolds to the city and its citizens. Therefore, be it resolved by the Council of the City of Roanoke as follows. Council adopt this means of recognizing and commending the many services rendered to the City of Roanoke and its people by the Honorable Stephanie Moon Reynolds, and the clerk is directed to forward an attested copy of this resolution to the Honorable Stephanie Moon Reynolds and the appreciation of Roanoke City Council and the citizens of Roanoke, Virginia for her exemplary service on Roanoke City Council. Thank you, Stephanie. We're going to make it legal now. Yes. I know you know that. Is there a motion?
Second.
All right. Madam Clerk, can you call the roll?
Yes, I can. Vice Mayor Cobb? Aye. Ms. White Boyd?
Aye.
Mr. Vollison?
Aye.
Ms. Moon Reynolds?
Abstain.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, I'm so used to calling your name. All right. Ms. Sanchez Jones? Aye. Mr. Fitzpatrick? Aye. And Mayor Lee?
Aye. Thank you. You have the floor, Ms. Moon.
As it has already been stated, my time here has been long. I came here at age of 19, and I'm proud to keep saying that. When I came, my daughter came with me, and she was only 18 months old. Yes, and since then, I'm working on my third generation, turning that same doorknob, and I can truly say now, it is time. I think the Lord blessed me by giving me that bridge over. He never told me, and I'll be honest, he never said run to win in the mayor's election. He said run. And I did that openly, and I was wholeheartedly obedient. But I believe in all things, some things has to come to that end so that you can start a new chapter. And now I'm ready for my new journey, whatever that will be with the rest of the years I have left to fulfill those. There are so many things that I want to do. So I'm just waiting to see what the Lord has in store for me, how to begin. And so I thank this council for that opportunity. I thank the citizens for seeing something in me 4 years ago to say we do believe in you as an independent to run. And it was my son who woke me up to say, congratulations, Mom. And I thought I did lose. I thought I was fourth. And he said, no, you are third. So I was like, look at God. So it has been, and I know it hasn't been easy for us on council. I won't pretend that it has been. But we have worked together to get the things done for the betterment of the city. And that I am grateful for the work. And again, thank you all. Thank the citizens. And I look forward to working with the vice mayor. I'm going to claim it. Others may not. But I do believe the vice mayor will be the incoming mayor. And with that said, I do wish you all the best. And I am here to serve. I have a servant's heart. And whatever I can do to help you in any way, and that's including this council that still will be here, and the incoming council, I say publicly, I am a public servant. And I will always be that way until I take my last breath. So thank you all for the opportunity.
Councilmember Whiteboard to now join me at the podium. There's another one with fine print on it. Hey,
You want my reading glasses, man?
thought I had some. It didn't work. I need to get deeper.
Unless you'd like to.
Okay, go. Well, I can do it. I get it. I get it. A resolution paying tribute to the Honorable Trish Whiteboard and expressing to her the appreciation of the city of Roanoke and its people for her exemplary public service. Whereas Ms. Whiteboard has faithfully served the city of Roanoke during her terms of office, including completing the unexpired term of a former council member from January 16, 2019 to December 31st, 2020, serving as vice mayor from January 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022, and continuing to serve on city council through December 31st, 2024. Whereas Ms. Whiteboard brought her extensive professional experience as president of the Star City Management Services, director of Blue Ridge Senior Services, and a certified senior advisor to her work on behalf of the city of Roanoke. Whereas Ms. Whiteboard's educational achievements, including earning a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration from Everett University in Danville, Virginia, having informed her leadership and dedication to the community. Whereas Ms. Whiteboard has demonstrated exceptional leadership through her council assignments as Vice Chair of the Legislative Committee, Chair of the Personnel Committee, Chair of the Adult Audit Committee, elected official representative to the Equity and Empowerment Advisory Board, and elected official representative to the Virginia Municipal League's Financial Policy Committee. Whereas Ms. Whiteboard's civic and volunteer activities, including her membership in Delta Sigma Theta sorority, as well as her contributions as a committee member of the Greater Grandview Neighborhood Association and former board member of the Roanoke Higher Education and the League of Older Americans, have significantly enriched the Roanoke community. Whereas during her tenure as vice mayor, Ms. Whiteboard co-chaired the Star City Storm Recovery and Resiliency Advisory Panel, which provided equitable, community-driven recommendations for the distribution of American Rescue Plan Act ARPA funds, resulting in national recognition for her for best practices in ARPA funding utilization. And whereas Ms. Whiteboard was instrumental in renaming Lee Plaza to Henrietta Lacks Plaza, working with the Equity and Empowerment Advisory Board to honor the legacy of Henrietta Lacks, she spearheaded efforts and fundraising to erect a statue of Henrietta Lacks and collaborated with Hidden in Plain Sight to highlight Black history in Roanoke. Therefore, be it resolved by the Council of the City of Roanoke as follows. Council adopts this resolution as a means of recognizing and commending the dedicated service of the Honorable Trish Whiteboard to the City of Roanoke and its people. The clerk is directed to forward an attested copy of this resolution to the Honorable Trish Whiteboard with appreciation of Roanoke City Council and the residents of Roanoke for her distinguished service. Thank you, Trish Whiteboard. And who want to adopt this, Madam Clerk?
Second.
All right. Call the roll if you may.
Vice Mayor Cobb. Mr. Volleson?
Aye.
Ms. Moon Reynolds?
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez Jones?
You'll see what we'd have to deal with sometimes, why our meetings take so long.
Mr. Fitzpatrick?
I guess I'll vote aye. Because she does not steal Mountain Dews like this one.
And Mayor Lee?
Yeah, aye. All right, well, thank you, Trish.
Thank
Just
you.
want to present you with this
Thank you.
proclamation. And I want to present this key to the city. And it's in recognition of outstanding leadership and service rendered to the citizens of the city of Roanoke as Vice Mayor from January 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022, and as a member of Roanoke City Council, January the 16th, 2019 through December the 31st, 2024, by Mayor Sherman P. Lee Sr. and members of the Roanoke City Council, given on this day of December 16th, 2024. Thank you. This is the key, really key to the city.
Beautiful. Thank you, Mayor.
Mike is yours.
Well, thank you so much, Mayor. Mayor Lee said to me right before the recess meeting, oh, and we're going to do some resolutions, and maybe you all will get a key to the city. So we had no idea that this was going to happen. Therefore, we don't have prepared speeches. But I just want to start by saying this has been an exciting journey. Most of you know that I ran and lost by 47 votes, and most people will give up. They say, you know, I'm not doing this again. 47 votes, it was tough. But I decided to run again, and the second time, not only did I win, I got so many votes I became vice mayor, and I just want to say thank you to the residents of Roanoke City for putting their confidence in me, for allowing me the opportunity to serve them. Not only did I get to serve the residents, but I got to serve the city employees, who I'm truly grateful for. I've made some wonderful relationships with the city employees, and I hope that and pray that I have served you well. I want to thank my colleagues. It has been a true joy working with you all, and I know that Vice Mayor Cobb will come back as mayor, and I see the city continuing to move forward with people like Haywood Fralin and wonderful staff here. All of your directors, our interim city manager knows that we have some wonderful directors. I just want to say thank you all so much for the opportunity. I have had nothing but pure joy getting to know the residents and the people of this city and providing what I hope was a good service to you all. Thank you.
All right, that's the third one, there's the fourth one.
I need you to stand right over there. Well, it's my honor to be here to honor Mayor Lee with this resolution, and so many things have already been said at your farewell and more to come, but you have certainly created and left a legacy with us, and I know, as you announced the other night at the Teen Apprenticeship Program, for those of you who weren't there, the teens all came in, and they all lined up across the stage. And each one of them introduced themselves and said, and I aspire to be. And they all aspired to be something. And the last one remaining on the stage was the young adult Sherman Lee Sr., who came up to the mic, and we were all like, and he said, and I aspire to be a sports agent. And I do believe our beloved Dallas Cowboys are looking for a good one right
now. And they need one, Vice Mayor.
So I'm proud to read this resolution. A resolution honoring Mayor Sherman P. Lee Sr. for his distinguished service to the city of Roanoke. Whereas Sherman P. Lee Sr. has served the city with unwavering dedication for 20 years on the Roanoke City Council, including 8 years as mayor and 5 years on the Roanoke City School Board, demonstrating a steadfast commitment to the betterment of the community. Whereas during his tenure, Mayor Lee has championed numerous initiatives that have profoundly impacted the city, including the adoption of strategic plans such as the City Plan 2040, Downtown Roanoke Plan, Climate Action Plan, and Parks and Recreation Master Plan, guiding the city's vision for a vibrant and sustainable future. Whereas under his leadership, Roanoke received its 8th All-America City designation and became the first city in the nation inducted into the All-America City Hall of Fame, showcasing its excellence and community spirit on a national stage. Whereas Mayor Lee has championed infrastructure and community development through projects such as the redevelopment of the Colonial Avenue corridor, the reintroduction of Amtrak service to Roanoke, the replacement of the Franklin Road Bridge, and the expansion of the Roanoke River Greenway. Whereas his commitment to education and youth is evident through the redevelopment of William Fleming and Patrick Henry High Schools and the formation of the Lee Youth Outdoor Basketball League, fostering opportunities for young residents of Roanoke. Whereas Mayor Lee has spearheaded efforts to improve quality of life in Roanoke, including the creation of the Roanoke Financial Empowerment Center and the support for the expansion of Carilion Clinic and the Fralin Biomedical Research Institute. Whereas his dedication to public service was exemplified by his leadership in the Star City Strong Recovery Framework during the COVID-19 pandemic, ensuring the effective allocation of CARES and ARPA funding to support the community during unprecedented challenges. Whereas Mayor Lee's legacy is further highlighted by his efforts in community revitalization, including the redevelopment of library branches, the initiation of a grocery store in Northwest Roanoke, and the redevelopment of the American Viscose plant into Riverdale. And whereas Mayor Lee has served the city diligently and with distinction, and upon concluding his service as a member of Roanoke City Council, he will be remembered for his leadership characterized by his vision, integrity, and dedication. Therefore, be it resolved by the Council of the City of Roanoke as follows. 1, this council adopts this resolution as its means of recognizing and commending the remarkable and meritorious service of Mayor Sherman P. Lee Sr. to the city and its people, and expresses its deepest gratitude on behalf of the city and its residents. And 2, the city clerk is directed to provide an attested copy of this resolution to Mayor Sherman P. Lee Sr. in appreciation of his dedicated service. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
I will. Vice Mayor Cobb?
Aye.
Ms. White Boyd?
Aye.
Mr. Volleson?
Aye.
Ms. Moon Reynolds?
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez Jones? Aye. And Mr. Fitzpatrick?
Aye.
There we go.
And Mayor, so the resolution passes. Thank you all. On behalf of the City Manager's Office, you and the other outgoing council members received this booklet of accomplishments from previous years, and we also want to present you this collage of the City of Roanoke. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank Your time. Okay.
Let me thank all of you. Let me say that to my council, I appreciate working with you. It's been a joy these 20 years. There's been some ups, downs, but overall, I I've just been honored and blessed to work with some good people that cared about this city. Now, we may, at times, want to get some things done, and we may not all agree on the same way to get there, but we wanted to make Roanoke a special place. And I wouldn't dare take the credit for any of this. There's so many people that made this happen, and I appreciate that. And if there's any regret that I have for this time period is that my wife, Clara, of 44 years, could not be here with me. But I know she's watching me, and I hear from her every now and then when I make some of the decisions that I make. But it's been a good run. Roanoke has been a good city, and I've served with some solid people. I think 3 city managers, and I remember Bev and I came down and we worked together. I started back in 2004, and there were a lot of things going on then, and it looks like a lot of things that are going on now. That tells you something about this job. But I want to thank all of you. I want to thank the clerks for their assistance and help in guiding me. I want to thank Dr. Patton for her work coming in as the interim city manager, but she brought so much enthusiasm and a person that wanted to get things done. And she's ready to tell you why she did it too. But I appreciate her, even though she supports the wrong NFL team. But everybody, well, you know, everybody can't go with America's team. But I do thank you all. Thank each and every one of you for what you did. You brought something to the table. You made Roanoke special. And thank everybody back here. And I look back and see so many people in the community. I see Pastor over there, which we'll be talking about in a little bit. And thank you all, and thank you. And I was looking for Coach Gaither, but he was part of that. I see James Lynch back there, who worked with us on the basketball program. And that was something that helped us bring kids together with police officers. At the time, there was a concern when some of our kids in certain neighborhoods only saw police officers when somebody was being arrested or they were moving a body from out in the community. But I was pleased to know that, well, when we finished, they were coming up calling police officers by their first name. And police officers refereed the games, police officers were coaches, and it worked out so well. Not because of what I was doing, but because of the people that wanted to do it, wanted to be involved. And that's what I feel that makes this city so special. You got people that want to do some things. And so I was very pleased with that. And finally, I'm pleased with the Domestic Violence Task Force that we put together back in 2005 because of the violence against women in our community. And that group, we brought Commonwealth attorneys there, we brought police officers, we brought probation officers, and we brought everyday plain citizens from the neighborhood to tell us what we can do. And I want to give special credit to,
I'm sorry, man. Is that a football game? Listen to the game.
Somebody watching the game.
You listen to the Cowboys. Football. I'm sorry. Monday Night Football. She thought she'd be out by now. Yeah, how to get this game off? CC had turned off the football game.
I understand. Cowboy fans face it all. That's okay. But anyway, I do really appreciate the city and what it's done. And as was mentioned there, we're 8-time All-American city, first city to be placed in the Hall of Fame. And a lot of people talk to us about how we did something with COVID. As Trish and others have mentioned, we dealt with ARPA funds, and And I have to give credit to former city manager Bob Cowell, because he brought this together, put us together. Trish and I were co-chairman of that, and what made me realize that we were in the right city when we brought people from all sections, 36 people from all sections of our city, and we had to decide how to spend the money. We weren't going to go in a back room and say, hey, this is what we're going to do. We let citizens decide. And what made me so proud was that the number one focus of the meeting was that we need to take care of the underserved community. Do what we can do to make the underserved community better. And I was just proud of that because, again, you had doctors, lawyers, and everybody, teachers, regular citizens, but they all did that and say, hey, this is the kind of place you want to live in. So thank you all. Thank you so much for what you do. And I got a few more days left. And let me also just say that I don't know, as Stephanie said, I don't know right now how the election's going to come, but I think that the city's going to be in good hands with Vice Mayor Joe Clark. You know, there's an old saying that if you're going to be a leader, you need to be a good follower. And Joe has done that. He's been very supportive because he's been my really vice mayor for 2 terms. And so I thank him for that service. And Roanoke has a bright future. Roanoke has a bright future. You just got to keep working hard and don't look up at the scoreboard, but just go and do what you can. So God bless you. Thank you. And we'll look forward to great things to come. So thank you.
I'm here.
Oh, yeah, that's right, Miss Sanchez Jones, your other cowboy.
Before we go to the public hearings, can we certify our closed meeting?
Yeah. All right, the next thing we want to do is to certify our closed meeting, and I'll ask the Vice Mayor if he would offer the motion.
I move with respect to any closed meeting just concluded that each member of City Council in attendance certify to the best of his or her knowledge that 1, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements under the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, and 2, only such public business matters as were identified in any motion by which any closed meeting was convened were heard, discussed, or considered by the members of council in attendance.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, Madam Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Yes. Vice Mayor Cobb.
Aye.
Ms. White Boyd.
Aye.
Mr. Volleson.
Aye.
Ms. Moon Reynolds.
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez Jones. Mr. Fitzpatrick.
Abstain, because I was not there.
Oh, yes, sir. And Mayor Lee.
Aye. And thank you all. All right, item 15 on the agenda tonight is public hearings. And the first public hearing is a tax exemption request for real property owned by 530 Day LLC and 1018 Patterson LLC, which is restoration housing. There's an ordinance.
Move the ordinance.
Second.
Madam Clerk, could you please read the title paragraph?
Yes, sir. An ordinance exempting from real estate property taxation certain real property located in the city of Roanoke owned by 530 Day Avenue LLC and 1018 Patterson LLC, both entities being single-member limited liability companies whose sole member is Restoration Housing, a Virginia nonprofit 501c3 corporation, providing for an effective date and dispensing with the second reading of this ordinance by title.
All right, I'm pleased to recognize any representative from Restoration Housing who's here to make any comments. All right, Ms. Lucas.
Good evening, Mayor Lee, council members. My name is Isabel Thornton, and I represent Restoration Housing. I'm the executive director. I did bring a printout to show you all what each of the 4 units from these 2 properties our tenants pay in rent compared to 2024 HUD fair market rent, compared to 2025 fair market rent, and to the average market rents. So it'll give you an idea of how our affordable rents compare throughout the city. I think that's helpful for this argument. So if you don't mind, should I pass it?
Thank you.
We are requesting tax exemption as we are a nonprofit who owns the properties. They are fully owned by our organization. Our organization has a twofold mission, which is to rehabilitate, restore blighted and vacant properties, and then once they're complete, we own and manage them as affordable housing. Our margins are very tight. These properties can barely pay us any income back to the organization, and we have 2 staff members out of our 4 who work entirely on managing and maintenance for these buildings. So even though these are pretty small tax exemptions that we're asking for, they're critical for our organization. And for affordable housing in general, the margins are all very tight. One thing that I think is worth noting, for 530-day, both of those units, the tenants use Section 8 vouchers. One of them is a 4-bedroom unit that we couldn't find comparables for in the city because there were no available 4-bedroom units in the city. So we used county data. We have 2 4-bedroom units in the city. Both of them are Section 8 voucher tenants, their families. And there is a real need for more 4-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom, family-sized apartments in the city. Section 8 vouchers help our tenants immensely. Many Section 8 voucher holders cannot find housing for this reason because there aren't many 2, 3, and 4-bedroom. And those that they can find have trouble meeting their fair market rent requirements. So the rents can never be more than fair market rent by HUD standards. So our rents, of course, meet that requirement, and we think that we fill a need very minimally because we don't have that many units, but we're able to meet that need where there are few alternatives.
All right. Thank you. Anybody have any questions?
Mr. Mayor, I do. It is not actually a question for Ms. Thornton. It just brings back my comments. I think you do good work, and it's nothing against you as a business, but again, I look at the assessments that we are exempting, and I mentioned it at last month during the public hearing comment, that since 2004, when this was implemented, the process over the last 20 years, and I believe the Director of Real Estate Assessment did speak on that, how much money we have allowed in tax general revenue to be exempted. And we're looking at budget constraints. I just see us continuing on, and I know, hope that next year that they will be looking at the policy, because we cannot continue to look at this. There's one that's coming up behind you, and your request that's asking for a personal property tax exemption, yet we don't exempt any personal property tax for our residents, nor do we exempt them from real estate taxes. And they have asked for a reduction, which we don't foresee that happening anytime soon. But at the same time, we continue under the premises of nonprofits to continue to allow them. And for you, we're going to exempt over $3,000 every year for what your assessments are on the 2 properties. And like I said, it will probably pass, but I just want to be on record expressing the sentiments that at what point do we start looking at this? At what point do we start really evaluating these exemptions as they keep coming forward to the council?
Let me say this, that thank you, Ms. Moon Reynolds, but I failed to open a public hearing.
Yes.
And so I'm going to do that, and I want to also recognize Deputy City Attorney, Mr. Collins, if he has any comments that he'd like to make. Well, yeah, but you are part of the committee that's represented here, and then I will open the public hearing to see if any citizens are here to speak on that. You don't have to do it, Ms. Collins, just answer any questions that council may have later on.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay?
I'm sorry?
You want to make a statement, a comment?
As far as the criteria that the governing body has to consider when it comes to granting real property exemption, the General Assembly tasked the governing body with looking at the following criteria: whether or not an alcohol beverage license has been granted to the applicant, whether the applicant has received a 501c3 certificate, the revenue impact to the locality were the exemption to be granted, whether any officer of the locality of the applicant is being paid more than a reasonable salary for the services that it provides, and any other facts and information that the governing body deems relevant to whether or not the ordinance should be adopted. City staff has looked at this exemption, and there is no question that restoration housing provides a benefit to the community. Increasing the supply of affordable housing is a goal consistent with the city's planning. The only concern that staff has is what would differentiate restoration housing from any other provider of affordable housing, such as Section 8 providers, and were the exemption to be, the ordinance to be adopted, would that open up the door to other similarly situated property owners requesting an exemption of council as well? As it was mentioned earlier, our office in real estate evaluation expects to meet with City Council next month to consider some of these matters. And should council desire to table the matter and continue the public hearing until a later date to consider these weighty policy considerations, council has the authority to do that. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Collins. If you would stay there for a moment and let me...
And, Mr. Mayor, if I could
yes, sir.
Add on to that. There's one thing and I really want Ms. Thornton, because I believe this council and the next council have both expressed an interest in having affordable housing become a significant part of the goal of the city. And what we are looking at is Ms. Thornton is a perfect example of a developer that we cherish in the city. Somebody who rehabs real estate and then provides affordable housing as a result of that. So one of the things that we're looking at is our rehab program, and trying to also give extra points, if you will, in consideration if you're rehabbing a property that is then going to be provide affordable housing. And we're thinking that might be the best way to give people like Ms. Thornton the benefit that she needs to operate while still protecting the tax base and looking at that. So these are, I just wanted to give kind of an overview of what staff and our office is looking at from that standpoint. That way, Ms. Thornton, if you hear table the matter until February, if the council so chooses, it is because we're really trying to work, and we'll hope that you'll also be involved in the process of how we can make this work for everyone.
Okay, thank you. I want to get back in order here. I want to, and I'll come back to you, Mr. Reynolds. Let me just go and open the public hearing And Madam Clerk, do we have any citizens that have signed up to speak on this issue?
No, we do not.
All right. So there are no citizens wishing to be heard, then I'll close the public hearing, and I will go back to council, and I recognize Ms. Moon Reynolds again.
Thank you. With what has just been said by the deputy city attorney as well as the city attorney, I would ask, based on my comments as well, that we table this matter until, you said, until the second meeting in February, which would be under the new council, for them to act accordingly.
All right.
And, Mr. Mayor, if I can just reiterate, because Ms. Thornton has filed her application before January 1st, this would not hinder her ability, should council so choose, to enjoy the tax relief that's being contemplated.
Okay. All right. Well, there are no...
First thing, I guess you need a second.
Yes, you would need to second it in order for it to pass.
Is a second? Is a second to...
Second.
All right. Is there a second to that?
Yes,
To table it?
yes.
There is no second.
There's no
No
second.
one is seconded. So it fails for lack of a second.
So no one second.
No one is second.
All right.
Mayor Lee, if I may. May I speak now that that's dealt with?
Say it again.
May I speak now that that's been dealt
Yeah.
with? I would just like to say that we know that Restoration Housing has been a great community partner, and being able to add these affordable units to our city when the inventory is so low is really such a good benefit for our city and will ultimately be a small amount of revenue. I think when we're looking at nonprofits and whether or not they should be tax exempt, we need to be looking at our larger, more institutional players that are causing more service costs than maybe these two homes would. And so I agree that we should go forward with the tax exemption.
All right. Anybody else? Any other comments? All right. Hearing none, then Madam Clerk, I'll ask you to call the roll.
Vice Mayor Cobb,
Aye.
Ms. White Boyd,
Aye.
Mr. Volleson,
Aye.
Ms. Moon Reynolds,
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez Jones, Mr. Fitzpatrick,
Aye.
Mayor Lee.
Aye. All right. There's the bell. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Collins. All right, our next item is tax exemption request for personal property owned by Behavioral Health Navigators Incorporated. There is an ordinance.
Move the ordinance.
Second.
All right, Madam Clerk, can you read the title paragraph, please?
An ordinance exempting from personal property taxation certain personal property located in the city of Roanoke owned by Behavioral Health Navigators, Inc., a Virginia nonprofit 501c3 corporation, devoted exclusively to charitable or benevolent purposes on a nonprofit basis, providing for an effective date and dispensing with the second reading of this ordinance by title.
All right. Is there a representative from Behavioral Health Navigators here? Come on back.
Mr. Mayor, Bernice Griffin Cassidy is the president of Behavioral Health Navigators. She informed me that due to an unexpected occurrence, she had to be out of town tonight.
Okay. All right, I'm going to open the public hearing. Are there any citizens wishing to
No, sir.
speak? All right, I'm going to close the public hearing and ask my colleagues if they have any comments or discussion. Vice Mayor?
Mr. Collins or Mr. Spencer, I guess I can ask you this. I appreciated you identifying the criteria, Mr. Collins. Do the same criteria apply to personal property as they do to the other matter?
Yes, Vice Mayor, it does.
All right.
And I'll be happy to repeat those.
No, you don't need to. I was just curious. Thank you.
Any more, Ms. Whiteboard?
Yeah, and it's not a question for anyone in particular, but, you know, it does make it kind of challenging for some of us on the dais, like Ms. Moonrill says, because the commissioner has determined that the organization is not tax exempt, and then we get a recommendation saying after a public hearing, determine that granting an exemption would be appropriate. It just makes my job very challenging.
I understand. Even though Ms. Griffin is not here tonight, if there are any questions that any council member may have, I'll try my best to answer them.
It's not a question, it's just an observation when reading the application. I see on here that the exemption is for transportation for the executive personnel and clients respectively for business meetings and clients' medical appointments, outreach, community outings, and social services, etc., and that the personal property description is a 2023 Genesis G80 that they want to exempt. I have issues with that. I'm sorry. I have problems with that. And for this council to sit here and maybe agree to that, that does not fit, to me, personal property tax exemption.
Me either.
So that, I am going to vote no in this instance.
Yes. I'm not doing that.
Okay.
All right, any other comments? All right, then we'll close the public hearing. Yeah.
Oh, I think Commissioner Revenue Mayor may wish
All right.
to be heard.
On, you can come up, our Commissioner of the Revenue.
I just would like to, Mayor Lee, Vice Mayor Cobb, members of the council, I would like to clarify something with respect to Ms. White Boyd's comments in particular. In my determination that the organization was not exempt, I determined that it was not exempt according to what's established in state code. They're not exempt by classification where they're not a public park, a church, whatever. Those are bases that are established in state code. And they're not exempt by designation. Those would be organizations that have been previously designated as exempt by the General Assembly. They were not on the list of hundreds of organizations that the General Assembly in their wisdom sought to exempt from taxation. So it was just simply on those bases that it was determined that they were not exempt. And again, as the Assistant City Attorney indicated, Mr. Collins, that this is a determination that council can make at its discretion. And, yeah, I just wanted to clarify that before.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now I have a question.
Vice Mayor?
Yeah, so my question is, and let me make sure I've got my references right here. So, in the agenda report, under considerations in the second paragraph, it says wellness wagon. Is that the vehicle? Because I remember us adopting a tax exempt for the wellness wagon, which is a completely different service than
This is
that.
a whole nother deal. This is a whole nother.
No, Vice Mayor, this is a different company.
Okay, so that is not,
No.
that information, I would suggest, needs to be removed from the report for clarity purpose, because that was confusing to me.
Very good reason.
Unless they're reading, unless they call it that.
Hold on now, I'm hearing a lot of voices. Go ahead.
Well, unless they call it that, I just wanted to clarify because that, it just confused me. If they call it their wellness wagon, then that's fine. I just want to clarify that this is not the same organization that applied previously for tax.
No, Vice Mayor,
Okay.
it is not.
Thank you.
That was the acupuncture thing.
Yeah,
Right.
okay, thank you.
This is different.
Call the question.
All right. Madam Clerk?
Yes,
Can we go ahead and call a roll on this?
we can.
Go ahead.
Vice Mayor Cobb,
No.
Ms. White Boyd,
No.
Mr. Volleson,
No.
Ms. Moon Reynolds?
No.
Ms. Sanchez Jones?
No.
Mr. Fitzpatrick?
No.
And Mayor Lee?
No. So the ordinance does not pass. All right. Other business and our next business is a resolution naming the community room at Fire Station Number 5 in honor of the city's first African-American fire chief, Pastor Reverend Raleigh Quarles. There's a resolution.
So moved.
Second.
All right, Madam Clerk, would you please read the title paragraph?
A resolution naming the community room at Fire Station Number 5, located at 1920 Orange Avenue Northwest, in honor of the city's first African-American fire chief, Raleigh Quarles.
All right.
Mayor, could she read that in its entirety, please? May I ask?
I will continue.
Okay.
Whereas City Council desires to recognize, applaud, and honor the significant public service provided by former Fire Chief Raleigh Quarles as an active contributor to public affairs throughout the city of Roanoke, Virginia, who worked for the fire department for more than 25 years and retired in 1994. Whereas former Fire Chief Raleigh Quarles was the first African-American lieutenant, the first African-American fire marshal, and ultimately became the first African-American fire chief to serve in the city of Roanoke. Whereas in accordance with the policy of the City Council established by Resolution Number 37976-121707, adopted on December 17th of 2007, recommending the naming of city-owned facilities, City Council may waive the requirement of this policy that an individual be deceased for at least 1 year before renaming a facility. And whereas City Council desires to waive this requirement and name the community room at Fire Station Number 5 in honor of former Fire Chief Raleigh Quarles. Therefore, be it resolved by the Council of the City of Roanoke as follows. City Council finds and determines that the substantial contributions of former Fire Chief Raleigh Quarles to the City of Roanoke warrant waiver of the requirements set forth in Resolution Number 37976-121707, that a public facility be named or renamed for an individual who has been deceased for at least 1 year, and such requirement is hereby waived. 2, City Council hereby names the community room at Fire Station Number 5, located at 1920 Orange Avenue Northwest, in honor of the city's first African-American fire chief, Raleigh Quarles, to recognize, applaud, and honor the numerous contributions of Chief Quarles has made to our city. 3, the interim city manager or designee is authorized to take such actions as necessary to name the community room at Fire Station Number 5 in honor of former Fire Chief Raleigh Quarles. 4, the city clerk is directed to provide a copy of this resolution to former Fire Chief Raleigh Quarles as an expression of appreciation of the city of Roanoke for the significant public service provided by him. 5, the resolution shall be effective upon passage.
All right. I do see Pastor Quarles in the audience there, and I just asked him, do you care to have a word or something?
He's right there on the side
I must say that it's more than a word now. I want to express my sincere thanks and appreciation to everyone that's here tonight, and I just want to give some particular thanks too. But first of all, I would like to say, first and foremost, I give honor and glory to God for His blessing in making this possible for me to have served as fire chief for the City of Roanoke Fire Department for 5.5 years prior to my early retirement to accept God's divine call to proclaim or preach the gospel of Jesus Christ. To Mayor Sherman Lee and Vice Mayor Joe Cobb, members of the council, and Chief David Hoback, I'm sure he's still here tonight, and council member Stephanie Moon Reynolds, with the support of interim city manager Dr. Lydia Pettis-Patton, for their personal endeavor and support, and for their visionary leadership in the recognition and honor bestowed upon me this evening, and for the decision of City Council to name the community room at Fire Station number 5 on Orange Avenue Northwest in my name and in my honor. I say thank you. I am indeed elated, grateful, and humbled by Council's decision to make this historical event possible in the city of Roanoke. I owe it all to God and to the vessels and instruments that He chose to use to make this a reality. To those individuals whose names and positions of leadership that I've already identified, and I'm sure there were many others, I say thank you again. It was my privilege and honor to serve as department head for the City of Roanoke Fire Department prior to my early retirement, in obedience to God's divine call in and on my life. The department's mission then was the same as it is today and always will be, and I quote, to foster a diverse, inclusive, and innovative workforce that proudly serves the residents, citizens, and visitors of Roanoke by protecting lives and property with professionalism, integrity, and respect. End of quote. And again, I say thanks to each and every one of you here, some that I have never met, the interim city manager, and others that are in the audience. Thank you for whatever assistance you provided and support you provided. And again, especially to Councilperson Stephanie Moon Reynolds. May God bless each of you. Thank you.
All right, Nicole.
Would you like your
Come up.
Oh, would your family come up?
Come on.
And your water.
Excuse me.
Yes. Yes, come on up, Deputy City Manager.
Earl, you're getting way too much publicity.
Wait till he goes through a ribbon cutting.
Oh, yeah, Chief, you've got to come up.
I think he's too short. He might not show up.
Thank you.
Are you sure you got in there?
Don't we still have to vote on this?
Well, we got to vote on this one.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
when it gets to council's comments, I would ask if Chief Hoback, since he's standing here, if he could speak maybe to what's going to be done with regards to the community room, so that the public would know how they plan to dedicate this in former Chief Quarles' honor, if that's permissible.
Can you respond to that, Chief?
Thank you.
Mayor Lee, Vice Mayor Cobb, members of council. Yes, we, again today, formally acknowledging the recognition of the community room being dedicated to Raleigh Quarles. We've already started the bronze plaque, and we've got a rendering of that, which we will get approved through the city manager's office and through Mr. Quarles. And then at a point in time when that is ready, the current setting council today, as well as those who are serving in the future, will be invited to the dedication ceremony at Fire Station 5.
Okay.
And I will say that it's an honor. I actually worked with Chief Quarles back in the 80s as I came on as the Deputy Coordinator of Emergency Management, and he led the path to start the city's first EMS first responder program within the fire department. And Station 11 and Station 4 were the first, and that was my job to work with him and his staff to do that before we merged in '94. So it was a pleasure to work with him and his leadership, and on behalf of the fire department, congratulations, Chief Quarles, and we're excited about the dedication and what that will bring.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excited as well.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, if there are no further discussions, Madam Clerk, are we ready to call the roll?
On this one?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cobb.
Aye.
Ms. White Boyd.
Aye.
Mr. Vollison.
Aye.
Ms. Moon Reynolds.
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez Jones. Mr. Fitzpatrick. And Mayor Lee.
Aye. And the resolution passes. Congratulations, Pastor. Good to see you.
Mayor, I should note that I knew Chief Quarles long before he had white hair. I'd like to say the same about me. We dig.
All right. Well, it's a great time in the city. We look forward to being a part of that. All right, Madam Clerk, are we on hearing of citizens?
No,
We need to call
we have
roll.
a walk-on.
Oh, we didn't call,
We call
call the roll.
Yeah,
we
we
call
called roll.
roll.
We have a walk-on?
Do we have a walk-on?
We have a walk, yeah.
Oh, it's right, we do.
Yes, yes.
I don't have the
We got
copy.
to put it back to the middle. Yes. Thank you. Keep this straight.
All right, well,
That's it.
we have a walk on an ordinance. Can I get a motion on the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
All right, Madam Clerk, can you read the walk-on ordinance,
Yes, I will.
at least the first part of it?
An ordinance re-electing and reappointing Timothy R. Spencer as city attorney, Troy A. Harmon as municipal auditor, and Cecilia Freeman McCoy as city clerk for the city of Roanoke, retroactive to October 1st, 2024, amending the city's annual pay plan, which became effective July 1st, 2024, adopted by City Council by ordinance number 42932-051324 on May 13th, 2024, to adjust the salaries for certain council-appointed officers effective July 1st, 2025, and dispensing with the second reading of this ordinance by title.
All right, any discussion by members of council? All right, hearing none, and we're ready to vote. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Vice Mayor Cobb.
Aye.
Ms. White Boyd.
Aye.
Ms. Vollison. Mr. Vollison. Ms. Moon Reynolds.
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez Jones. Mr. Fitzpatrick.
Aye.
And Mayor Lee.
Aye. And the ordinance passes. All right. All right, now, the hearing of citizens. upon public matters. City Council sets this time as a priority for citizens to be heard. If deemed appropriate, matters will be referred to the interim city manager for response, recommendation, or report to council. Are there any citizens signed up?
Yes. We have 3 citizens.
Okay.
The first citizen is James Lynch, followed by Emily Kate Copenhaver and Samantha Newell.
Okay, I got 3 minutes. I'm James Lynch from Northwest. I'm one of the founders of the league. The summer league was in Melrose Park, and I invited Sherman in, and Sherman is a good friend of mine. And celebrate your retirement, man, and go live your life. And stop going to Dallas. Stop going to Dallas. No, I'll leave that football alone. Okay, what I want to speak about is Eureka Park. I don't know who Eureka Park is, and what I would like to do is get name the center after Brown and Killen. When they first opened it up, when they first cut the first tree down, I was up there. That's the park I used to play in when I was little, back in the 60s. We used to go there for picnics at Eureka Park when they didn't have the center. So since they building the new center and adding on to it, I think it'll be Mr. Brown and Miss Killen held it down. And it was really a rec center where the neighborhood can use. The neighborhood become, Mr. Brown, they'll shut it down at 6, and Mr. Brown opened back up from 7 to 9 at night to let us use it. So I would like to see Mr. Brown and Miss Killen's name on the building. Because like I can ask y'all, who is Eureka? Don't nobody know. Who is he? You know, I thought he was, he might be a slave owner. I don't know who he is. You know, so I asked the question and never got an answer yet. But I would like to see that. I mean, they can keep the park Eureka, but I'd like to see the building name Brown and Killen. That's all I got to say. Any questions? You know, just put it on the record that it shows.
We'll forward that to Dr. Patton to follow up on that and see. Maybe identify some people, and we'll go from there. We'll let you know.
Yeah, it's some more people that's involved in it. They called me today, and I also spoke to Milton Brown. He's in California. That's Mr. Brown's son. And today I spoke to Miss Killen's daughter. Matter of fact, her oldest daughter and all of us used to hang out together when we was young. So they all for it to have it like that, to change like that. And I think that'll be something good.
Okay.
Positive.
Thank you.
All right. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's long. I gotta go home and go to sleep.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. And City Manager. I, first of all, want to congratulate everyone who ran and thank everyone who ended their service tonight. I will try to be brief here, so reach out to me for accolades. I've got lots. But to copy Mayor Lee a bit, hi, I'm Emily Kate, and I aspire to be a medical examiner. I graduated Patrick Henry High School and got to work up close in politics. I worked in a lot of different places, got to be senior staff on some U.S. Senate races. I ran a paid canvas firm in Arizona, so got to see really up close what goes on in politics and came to the conclusion that my role is in healthcare. I moved back to study medicine and finish my math degree. I'm a student at Virginia Western, and the service opportunities that are available to me are all outside of Western. Internships there have all been cut due to lack of funding, and we've got a lot of really great instrumentation, but we don't necessarily have funding for people to learn how to use it, and we don't have staff with free time to show us. So in looking for ways to give back to my community, I kept running into someone named Danny. I had a conversation with them that I was looking to get more involved in things that would kind of boost my medical knowledge and help me engage in meaningful work that would give me the experience to give back, but also the experience to be considered at one of our world-class medical institutions that we have here, and to be a part of one of the people who gets selected to be there. Without a bachelor's degree, I will say that that is incredibly difficult. So Danny invited me to come to Virginia Harm Reduction Coalition. That has been one of the most eye-opening experiences that I have ever had here in Roanoke. I've worked with doctors from Curley, and I've worked with med students, I've worked with lots of different folks in the community, and I see every single day the people who benefit from Danny's work. I also was looking for something on their website and accidentally clicked on their finance reporting or something. Danny runs a $3.5 million budget at Virginia Harm Reduction Coalition, and that kind of blew me away. I knew that they were impressive, and so I was kind of sad that that did blow me away, but, you know, I should have known. So when I was looking for direction, Danny was there for me. Also, I'm from Independence, Virginia. My hometown was hit by Helene pretty hard. I was reaching out to a couple different people for help. When I reached out to Danny, they responded saying, hey, I'll give you the card, just go to Tractor Supply, make sure you take a picture of a receipt, but whatever your friends and family need, grab it and take it to them, and I'll make sure that it gets paid for. And so I also want to mention that Danny was one of the first people in a lot of the backcountry haulers that were missed by FEMA. And not to call out FEMA, but lots of other organizations missed them as well. So they were on the ground. They were also not only on the ground, but in the river. They're a really experienced whitewater paddler. So they're doing a lot of relief work from the river, which is kind of crazy, but super amazing. And so all of that to say, I would encourage everyone to look at the VHRC Partners website and look at how many different organizations VHRC is in network with. Things like Bradley Free Clinic, Virginia Tech, the Virginia Health Department. It's wild, and I think this just shows what an expert negotiator Danny is and how many different types of organizations that they can work with. So I also want to thank Stephanie Moon Reynolds for running. I think in that mayoral election, we saw the diversity of opinion that we have here in Roanoke, and I know it takes a lot of courage to maybe potentially offset the balances. But I also think that that allows us to dive a little deeper into the diversities of opinions that we do have here in Roanoke, and kind of broaden the perspective. And so when we think about balancing council, or think about someone who can bring not only a diverse background, but I mean also a master's in public health, 15 years in the industry. Danny's work rivals mine in politics. So that being said, when we're thinking about who to appoint for the empty council seat, I strongly urge council to consider Danny. They mentioned that they would be interested. They also were kind of like blindsided that anyone would ever consider them, which is kind of wild because I was at the Dems Christmas party and their name came up and we were all kind of saying like, oh my God, that's the easiest decision we could make. So in thinking about it, just think we could really make a historic decision here. And I think Danny would be the perfect person to take on that mantle. I definitely went over my time, so thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey y'all! Hey. It is so good to see you guys. This is so cool. Sorry. It's also so cool to see so many people like looking up and addressing the people speaking to them. Like, just thank you guys for actually being very public servant-esque. I appreciate y'all. And what a remarkable board of human beings from so many different walks of life sitting in front of me. It's truly an honor to be standing here in front of all of you. In front of this level of impactful diversity. a step further to know that the upcoming elected members will soon be sitting on this board. So cool, so amazing. I love it. The city of Roanoke is leaps and bounds ahead of so many neighboring cities and counties in the means of equity and inclusion. It is truly beautiful to witness, which is why I wanted to come before you guys today to encourage you to continue forward with your walks of diversity with the upcoming appointment of the soon-to-be vacated seat. I am certain that you will be presented with such an array of options, but I urge you to consider the option of a voice that seems to not have as much of a position on the current board. The voice of so many unrepresented people in our beautiful city, someone with their master's in public health, someone who serves as the executive director of a harm reduction coalition in our area, saving countless lives daily, a person who has operated as the state outreach manager for LGBTQIA advocacy organizations, a former police corps volunteer, someone that has led so many efforts surrounding protecting the youth of our community, someone that I worked alongside that helped so many kids personally. Each of you individually represents such important values, and I look forward to watching you continue to do so on all walks of life. And that is why I hope that you would consider appointing someone such as Danny Clausen to City Council when you look at appointing for the vacating seat. Thanks, y'all.
Thank you.
That was the last speaker.
That concludes that. All right, thank you. All right, let me just say in closing, the last city council meeting for the year, and the last one that I'll be sitting in this seat, or any other seat in here, let me just say that it's been an honor again to be here, and I tell you, there are a lot of memories here. I remember when this room was packed, and we were dealing, I think one of the most vocal ones, where we were dealing with the Second Amendment here. A lot of cities across the Commonwealth dealt with that, and we dealt with that, and I'm proud of the position that we took with regards to that. I remember here in terms of zoning and the way the room was packed. I remember all those things here. And so, but it was a time that we had to really, as a council, come together, do some critical analysis of what was expected and what we thought, and I'm proud of the decision that we made. But those are some times here. So for the last 8 years, I've been sitting in this seat trying to do the best we can for the city of Roanoke. And so I'm proud to have served with this council. And so if I want to wish everybody really a Merry Christmas and a happy holiday season. And remember that even though, and we're going to bring 3 new members of council, please remember that everybody has an opinion, everybody has a view. I ask that you respect everybody's view, and you don't necessarily have to agree, but respect that. And so that's something that we tried to do, and I tried to implement as the mayor here. And so go forward, be blessed. I still feel Roanoke is, the best is yet to come. Is yet to come because of the people that's here and in place. Thank you so much, especially the staff here, from planning and all the other departments here that thank you for what you do and what you're doing for our citizens here. And as I think Ms. Moon Reynolds mentioned, that we're servants, and this is what you do in this job. You serve. You serve, and the people have hired you to do that. And I just want to share with the new members, new council members that are coming up in this seat and in leadership, you sometimes are going to offend people that may be your friends. That's part of it. You're going to vote on things that a majority of people may disagree on, but you have to know deep down in yourself that you're doing the right thing for the right reasons. So Again, be blessed. Thank you for all that you do, and I'll see you down the road. All right? Thank you.
Staying close.
All right.
Come on, Mayor, you gotta stand up.
All right.
You know, I know it's hard, but I'm older than you are. If I can do it, you can.
Tighter.
Watch Dr. Patton, she's giving us directions.
Get a little closer. Okay. Hold on.
Don't be afraid, Peter. We don't bite.
That's good.
Can you all move? I kind of want to center the,
Yeah.
Okay.
Right here, Mayor.
That's good. A little bit more to your left.
Go this way?
Yeah, to your left.
Right there.
Right there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Could you stay there and then I get a picture with you?
I'm
please?
confused if we didn't ask Mr. Moon Reynolds to come up and be in this.
Thank you.
I know, man. I would have invited Cobra to come see me get a key, and I didn't know all this was happening.
I didn't know you knew.
Stephanie must have known, got earlier. I didn't know anything about a key. No, no.
We got photos.
I know.
Hold on. I need to get taller.
Okay.
Thank you.
How do you like your wolf? I was saying my husband.
Joe, I moved this over your way here.
Know anything about it? I didn't.